Hey everybody, I'm Brad.
Hi, I'm Joe.
We're from Myles Auto Care and Transmissions in Reading, Pennsylvania. I want to welcome you to Transmission Talks. Today we're going to be talking about torque converters, a very crucial part of the inside of transmission. First off, what is it? What's it do? Why do we need it?
Converts torque.
Good answer. Okay. So Joe, why don't you take us through what a torque converter is, what its purpose is, and why we need that part of the car?
So in an automatic trans, you need a coupling between the engine and the trans.
Okay.
And it also can't stall. So they have this turbine system set up inside the torque converter that allows these large fins to catch fluid and act on the other side of fins and create a fluid coupling that will in turn turn these splines to turn the input shaft of the trans and propel it forward. So when you're at a low speed, these fins aren't moving very fast. So it allows it to slip so you can sit there and idle and it doesn't stall the car.
So are you telling me if we didn't have this, it would kind of be like you had a manual car and you just dropped the clutch with it in gear?
Correct.
It would just stall the engine out?
If you didn't have a torque converter and you put an automatic transmission in drive, like say these welded together, if they had some kind of failure and they stuck together, and you put this thing in drive, the motor's going to lock up and it's just going to shut off. It can't function.
I know we see a lot of failures at the shops with torque converter being the prime candidate for the failure.
And most of that is not so much this part. The fins, the metal will get in here and damage these fins, but it's not as common as this plate here. So when you get into the higher speeds, this clutch here, this is a clutch, it's its own clutch inside the converter that will come on that creates a direct bond between the engine and the trans, which will lower emissions because you're not wasting energy anymore. This part wastes energy because it takes extra engine speed to create that couple.
Well, you're spinning this to spin another
right, and there's slip there, and that's what it's designed to do.
Okay.
So then later on, the transmission turns this on, which becomes a one-to-one out through the engine to the trans.
So now we are talking like a manual transmission where we have that clutch that's engaged.
That is correct.
Holding it together.
Yes.
Wow.
And that lowers emissions output and waste of energy. You're using all your energy that the engine's putting out now instead. And what happens is this lining that's very thin and it wears out, goes bad, and then the rest of it gets inside here and just everything just kind of dominoes after that.
So when this fails, you said this is a more common failure, having this clutch wear out, I guess?
Gets hot, and the heat is very bad. We need to keep these things as cool as possible. The fluid gets old, it can't move as fast through the coolers, that gets hot, and then everything, the glue will loosen and everything just falls apart from there.
So what kind of symptoms, as the owner of a vehicle, the driver of a vehicle, what kind of symptoms would they have when this starts to fail?
The most common failure or symptom of that failing is in the higher gears, the vehicle will start to shake and shudder. It'll be like hitting rumble strips.
I felt that a couple times in some cars that I drove here.
That thing just starts skipping in there and then it just wreaks havoc.
All right, so now that we understand we have a clutch that comes on to make it more fuel efficient, and what's kind of wild is there's no mechanical connections, what you're saying, it's all fluid.
It's all hydraulic.
Wow, so that's pretty impressive. So I see we have, in counting the one that's apart here, we have 3 different ones. I mean, this one's massive.
This is one of the larger ones in the industry.
Jeez, that thing's heavy, man.
Yeah, and that's got a special piston in there. There's a billet piston in there. That is a very strong. That is your 6.7 diesel Ford.
Oh wow, so this is going to be in a diesel truck.
That's a diesel truck converter.
And I assume something like this is going to be for a much smaller vehicle, right?
Yes, that is your CVTs and your Nissans, and it's much smaller car.
Okay.
Yeah, much more compact.
This is a pretty crucial part then, huh?
Yeah. I mean, that's your coupling. So if anything happens to that, nothing else
Nothing else is going to work.
Yeah.
What can we do as vehicle owners to prolong this part from failing? Because it just looks so complex.
With regular servicing, keep up your intervals.
And that's why we recommend every 30,000 miles to service your transmission.
Yeah.
So these kind of things don't fail, of course.
It's very important. You need to get that dirt and debris out of there, as much of it as you can. Try to make sure it stays as clean as possible. And we also have additives and stuff that we add in there from like leaf guard that we can add in that also adds an extra layer of protection on it that keeps it nice, helps with heat transfer.
So if we learned anything here today, it's that proper service of the transmission in your car is crucial to keep things like your torque converter operating properly.
Yeah.
So we recommend every 30,000 miles. I know some of the manufacturers may recommend that maintenance be taken a little bit later on, maybe the 50, 60,000 mile mark. And some manufacturers even say it's lifetime fluid. But we have to rebuild those transmissions often when they say lifetime fluid because they're not being maintained or serviced. So come see us at Myles. We have 3 locations, one in the Reading area, one in Birdsboro, and then one in the Sinking Spring area, all in Pennsylvania. So come check us out, see if we can help you. And if you have any questions, call one of our stores, call one of our centers, and just pick our brain. We're more than happy to make sure you're maintaining your vehicle's brake.